Welcome to another episode of Joe knows absolutely nothing about Japanese cinema, and so he ignorantly thinks that anyone with a sword is automatically a samurai or a ninja. How many more of these videos am I doing? How am I even doing these? So in the last video, I talked about how the first film in this series really didn't do anything for me. I thought it had very little style, uninteresting action, way too much melodramatic plotting, and I just overall didn't get the character. Well, this film, Sleep Out to Death 2, Sort of Adventure, correct me with the Japanese title in the comments below, also has very little style, uninteresting action, even less action, actually, and has even more melodramatic plotting. However, I think I'm starting to get the character. In the first film, Kiyoshiro was pretty much disinterested in everything. He was disgruntled at the people around him and got involved in their affairs out of pure boredom. And at first glance, this film seems to be following a similar trajectory, except for he's just doing it with a little bit more positivity, which is something I wouldn't think to attribute to a character that I've heard is so nihilistic. He seems to practically be a Boy Scout. I mean, he's a Boy Scout who murders people, but still, he helps protect old men from being murdered. He helps a little kid get his family's name back. And he smiles while eating noodles at one point. He's practically a sort of Robin Hood, killing the powerful to protect those who can't protect themselves. Or is he? Full disclosure, this is actually my second time watching this movie, and between both viewings, I jumped ahead a little bit to watch a couple of the films that come after this, so I know where this is heading. The bulk of the movie is set around Kiyoshiro trying to protect Japanese Bernie Sanders. And when the man shows sympathy for those who tried to murder him, Kiyoshiro laughs at his seeming naivete. Time and again, he appreciates the value of treating others with compassion and charity, but ultimately sees those values as impractical in the world that he inhabits. Perhaps Kiyoshiro's outlook on life can be best summed up in this brief exchange between himself and a peace-loving cook who had previously had a tragedy in her life. This is the key to Kiyoshiro. I can't say it. He lives in a world where the corrupt use the honest for their own gains and amusement. He thinks that the only way to fight these people is with similar cruelty. Thus, violence, humiliation, and sex become weapons that Kiyoshiro wields against those he has deemed to be unjust. He becomes a monster to fight monsters in the hopes that one day there won't be any monsters left. Of course, the ultimate ends to this logic is if Kiyoshiro is successful, he will be the only monster left. And that could be a fascinating conclusion to a character arc that I would like to see. But considering that I've got 12 more movies in this series, and they're going to try to milk it for all it's worth, I doubt they'll go there. It's a subtler, gentler film about a deeply disturbed character. It's a slow-moving potboiler, a little too slow moving for its own good sometimes.
Let them fight.
And it doesn't have very much action. What action is there isn't particularly stylized. It's a mildly interesting movie about a fascinating character. And for the time being, I think this is the last we're going to see of Happy Kiyoshiro for a while. if you want to know what I thought of the first film in this series, Sleepy Eyes of Death 1, The Chinese Jade, I am so proud that I remembered that subtitle. I didn't think I would. You can click the link below me, and when I have the next video out, I will put that one below as well. And hopefully I'll get it out sooner than the 2 or 3 months it took me between the first and the second video. So check back. Eventually I'll talk about the third movie.